Hello everybody. Some of you may remember these white poplar that I collected back in 2019 from the canal side. I actually rescued them from the strimmers and lawnmowers that were coming along, cutting down anything that stood in their way basically. These were suckers coming from a tree, and there is a video of me collecting them. I just simply cut them out of the ground with my little penknife and grew them on last year. This one is not growing very well. It's still alive. It hasn't formed much root, so I don't know quite what I'm going to do with that one. Let it grow on again for another year, or I think I'm going to repot it just so I can have a look at the roots. Its buds are bursting. Some of these have actually got some leaves showing. I've almost left them too late. And I'm going to insert some video here of some poplars that are along a route Coop and I walk regularly, which have grown up in a clump. So all of these are double trees anyway. I'm going to try and organise these three pots into one clump style tree in this seed tray today. So let's do that. I'm really liking the look of this group, or clump style I guess, white poplar, which is making me think maybe I could do something with the white poplars, maybe a 3-trunk group or clump. This is a 5, and of course we have the 5 graceful trunks making the one crown, which I always like. So yeah, future inspiration possibly. Of course the white poplar is just as graceful. It's just a single tree, so, but I've got a few of them, so maybe I'll do both. Well, as we've got here, we have an avenue of them. So, I don't know. So many choices. Okay, so I've brought in the tray just to keep all the mess. It's one of the best bargains I ever bought in terms of keeping the mess in one place. And let's see if we can't get these trees together into a nice little clump style. I've grown a fair bit of root, so that's good. What I'm going to try and do, well, first of all, let's remove the wire. I'm just holding the wire at the bottom, and because there are no branches or anything in the way, I'm able to just uncoil it. The tree's not really taken completely, but it has a bit of movement. I'm not sure this piece isn't dead. Do the thumbnail test. No, it's dead. How far down is it dead? At least to there. I'm going to take it off completely. And we'll consider this a single trunk tree. There we go. One of the things I like about this particular species is the underside of the leaves is pure white, hence the name white poplar. And if you get strong winds and the whole of the tree gets blown to one side, the tree just looks white, especially if the sun is shining. That's quite spectacular. Okay, so I'm not too fussed about sorting the roots at this present time. What I just want to do is see if I can put them together into a clump. Again, this is a twin trunk, and which is quite nice because that means I'll have 5 little trunks together in a clump, which is always nice to have an odd number. I'm not going to wire them together or anything. I'm just going to plant them together. Once they've been in situ for a little while, I can wire a couple of these trunks so they're not interfering one with the other. And I'm not even going to do any root pruning. They will fit in the pot nicely just as are. So that'll get them off to a good start this summer. A layer of soil in the bottom of the pot. A little bit of controlled release fertilizer. Mix that in, and then we'll see if we can get these trees to sit nicely together again. I let go of them when I had them in the position I wanted, and that's always the way that they won't go back. But no, that's not too bad. Let's try putting 2 in together. Like so. Never enough hands. And then this one, I am just going to nip off a little bit of the roots on this one. The thick root going straight down there, which is preventing it from sitting flat. And then it can sit in the junction between those like so. Sometimes fingers works best when you go around the outside, but in this case I'm going to use the root hook, as I'm trying to get the particles between some of these existing roots rather than just around the outside of a flat root ball. Okay, so that's not perfect in terms of placing, although as the trees fatten up they will begin to close in the gap. As I say, I'm not trying to fuse these into a clump, I'm just going to grow them as a clump, and then if I change my mind in future years, I can. I'm going to just pop this one out of its pot, and it's going to go back in again, but I want to see if there's anything. The roots have not, as you can see, they're quite healthy, the roots that it has got. There's no sign of vine weevil, which is nice. And there's a little piece of runner root that was the sucker came from. I think that that piece is alive, and that piece is dead. So I'm going to shorten no, I'm going to leave it because I'm not going to take off any of these roots. I'm going to plant it with that part exposed. Whether I'll get a good radial root system with this is another matter, but just want it to be healthy in this pot. So let's give it some fresh soil. I've kind of tucked some of the roots back in underneath themselves, some out this side, and that gives it a more radial pattern somewhat. I'm not going to pot it up into anything larger. I'm just going to let it grow on this year in this pot. There we go. I'll put that, give that a drink obviously, and we'll put that on the bench and let it grow. I should have given it some feed. I'll do that now. A little bit on the top, and then just squidgle it in. There's a third shoot coming there, so that'll make this a triple trunk. True of a lump as a root ball, but that's okay. Might be interesting. Okay, so whilst those white poplar are draining, I'm just going to introduce you to a couple of these, which are black poplar, I believe, and these were collected in exactly the same way as I collected the white poplar, only this time they were collected in a different place along the riverbank, and I didn't get a video of it. As I say, there is a video of me literally cutting those white poplars out of the ground in the playlist, and the link to that will be in the description and in the end screen. So yeah, so these are black poplar, and I've basically just put them in flower pots. I collected them over winter, so I'm not going to do anything else with these apart from grow them on. Apart from, I can see we've got a bit of dieback in a couple of places, so I'm just going to cut back to a live bud facing in a good direction and basically shorten this. So I'm going to shorten that one back to there, and I'm going to shorten the other one slightly more, like so. Buds are popping quite nicely, so yeah, they've come through the winter, they've just died back on the tips. This taller one, cut that back, that was dead, and that bit's alive, so I'll leave, I've cut back to living tissue, and we'll see if it buds back. Take the scissors to this. I can see I have a fine living bud just there and there. I'll take both of those off kind of in that direction, which will be good. That's all dead. There's a nice bud there. There, there, and then you can see all that's dead down to about here, so yeah, perfect. So that's all I'm going to do to those. This one we'll see where we get. I'm going to keep it as a twin trunk. Obviously, as I say, it's got the sort of root runner underneath. This one, I kind of quite like the shape already at the top there, so I'm just thinking I might shorten this branch back a little more. Yeah, that's better. I'm happy with that. Okay, so those are black poplar, and they will eventually turn up in their own little playlist, I hope. As I say, only collected over the autumn winter period, and we will see how they go. Okay, so here we go with the little group. Obviously got a long way to go, and I'm not going to be doing much else with this year, apart from maybe by the end of the summer. Once the trees are rooted more firmly into the soil, I'll be able to get a wire in and just give this clump a bit more definition and shape. This one, which has got a lot of recovering to do, so that'll be a nice little twin trunk one day, I hope. We shall see. It's now the 28th of April, and yeah, the trees are growing away, beginning to already show that reason why they're called the white poplar. If we can lift the leaf slightly, yeah, I think that's showing up on camera, how this almost glow white. The trees have started to firm up in the pot as well, so I've actually placed just a few offcuts of wood just to get them growing out in different angles, stop them crossing over one another, and that can be refined a bit more later in the year, perhaps with some wire at autumn time. But for now, these blocks of wood are doing a grand job, and yeah, quite pleased. They're looking very healthy and responding well. It's the 18th of May now, and this group is growing away quite nicely, at nearly 2 inches of extension growth on most of these trees, which, considering we've had a really cold, dry, horrible spring and now a really wet bit of time, they've done quite well. And I still don't know whether I want to do a clump with them or whether I want to fuse them at the base. That will be for another year. This year I think I'm just going to leave them. These pieces of wood have done their job now. The trees have pretty much sat in place. This could be a possible front, or indeed this could be a possible front, or I could wire them up more. Lots of options to be explored over the next few years. Let's move that one out of the way, and this other one, which if you remember had a very weak root system, is growing up quite nicely now. It's going to make a nice little mother-daughter, father-son, whatever you want to call it, parent-child, twin trunk. And yeah, again, going to let it grow on this year, healthy and strong. So that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It is really, really appreciated. Drop me a comment, let me know if you liked it or not, and we'll see you in the next video. Please, please, please do take care of yourselves. Stay safe, everybody.